ingredients are there? You need all those ingredients, see, to make it go. You have the company, you have the product, you have the comp plan, the lights are green for entrepreneurs, the infrastructure. Here, I'm going to go over them one at a time. First of all, the company. You got a 45-year-old company. When does that ever happen when you're involved with a company that's solid and yet brand new? None, right? And by the way, don't ever get involved with something that's new. Not in this industry. Let me give you a little facts. There's been over 200,000 network marketing and direct sales companies started since Amway started. Less than 3 dozen are over 24 years old. What's the percentage of that? 24 out of 200,000. Your chances of getting a program that's correct is nil. So again, understand the company is solid as a rock, no question about it. Next, you have it's an original equipment manufacturer. They don't sub out anything. Everything that Enagic does, including the box that the unit comes in, is owned by Enagic. They don't sub out anything. You know what? Instead of me covering the company, I want to let Jerry cover it. I asked him the other day when we were putting this together, I said, Jerry, you know, I don't know if you know this, but he was the one who put this together. Change Your Life magazines. And by the way, you can't buy this anymore because they ran out of them, okay? But when you're explaining the company, this is the best way to explain the company. Because most people are going to think it's some kind of water filter company, okay? Jerry's the one that puts this together. He has input in all the e-friends. So he'll explain the company to you. I think he would be better to explain it. Ladies and gentlemen, bring up one of my good friends, one of my frontline 6 days, Gerald Kostecka. Let's give him a round of applause.
You rock, Jerry.
Hey, everybody.
Hey!
How are you doing? So I'm going to talk about an Enagic that I think most people haven't seen. Some have. It's funny because I think a lot of what happens is we get bits and pieces of this company, okay? But I want to start by saying that what we're actually going to be talking about is yesterday, today, but more importantly, I think, tomorrow, okay? Because that's really the big one. But I want to put things in perspective right off the bat. So we are here celebrating what? The 45th anniversary of this company, right? So the foundations of this company were put into place 45 years ago. So to put that in perspective, I would like you guys to do me a favor. If you are under 45 years of age, please raise your hand. High. Put it up there high. Okay? Now hold it up there for a second. I want everybody else to look around the room and realize all these people who have their hands up were not born when this started. Okay? Now to put it in my own personal perspective, I was 5 when this started. So when Mr. Oshiro decided to pursue this business endeavor, I was playing in a sandbox. Okay? I want you guys to understand the journey that he took this journey so that all of us could be here today.
Yes.
Okay? And that deserves a level of, if nothing else, admiration. Because it is not easy to run a company successfully for 4.5 years, let alone 45. Okay? So I just wanted to put that in perspective. And yes, I know I'm adorable. It's okay. Obviously, I grew out of it. So, but let's take a look at the yesterday that is Enagic. Okay? The beginnings of this company. The foundations of the company that we all now enjoy so much the fruits of. Now, to put this in even more perspective, I know this is supposed to be all 6 A's and above, but if you have just become part of the company, let's say within the last 6 months, okay? Do me a favor. I love the guy in the back. He is so people into this, man. I say one thing, this stands up. Yes, me. You're talking about me, man. If you've been in this business for less than 6 months, raise your hand, please. Okay? Okay. Less than a year. Less than a year. Raise your hand. Less than 5 years. Raise your hand. Okay. Does everybody see how many hands are up? Do you understand that if you're a brand new person, man, your timing couldn't be better? You're showing up to the dance, and all the decorations have been put up. The music is in place, the lights, the everything, the ambiance, it's all there for you. All you have to do is show up and dance. That's all you got to do. Okay? So we need to appreciate that. What that means is as leaders in this business, all of us need to understand that when we talk to a brand new person, we need to let them know what they're becoming a part of. What has been put into place to let them be part of it today. Okay? It's a long journey, but it's been a great journey. As you look around, guys, we have so many great people in this business. And you know this industry, it can have an unsavory reputation sometimes. But you know what? For the vast majority of the people that are in this business, they're top notch. In the Enagic business, the people that are drawn to this are top notch. Because unlike other programs that are kind of like sketchy at best, you know what I'm talking about, right? It draws a certain type of person. And fortunately for us, we have a legitimate business, so a lot of those people don't want anything to do with us. And I'm so thankful for that fact. Because what it means is we have the cream of the crop. When you have the cream of the crop, it means everybody's going to be able to succeed. If that's what you want. Now, does everybody succeed? No. But that's on each individual. You want to know, look, you want to know whose responsibility it is for your success? You can either look to the butt that's in the chair you're sitting in, or just check the mirror out the next time you see him. That's the person responsible for your success, okay? So make sure that you're living up to your own expectations, okay? So as you can see, you know, this started a long, long time ago with a man with a vision. So what did that do to get us to where we are today? Well, as you can see, one of the biggest things on this is the 45 years of experience. I think you'd agree that if you talk to somebody who is 45 years old and somebody who is 4 years old, their level of experience is going to be vastly different. Their knowledge, their expertise, the things that are going to make them be able to take on life successfully will be much different between those two age groups. So understand that 45 years of experience has solidified a foundation that we all get to now enjoy and walk on and build from, okay? The other ones, yeah, it's a growth-oriented company. These are some of the blah, blah, blahs, as Danny would say. But the one that I really wanted to address from this slide is the developing megatrend. Danny just talked about that, okay? And I think it's important for us to all realize what that really means, okay? Because I don't think everybody actually understands what a megatrend is. See, a lot of times we get buzzwords, right? Antioxidants, trends, you know, this or that. They become buzzwords, but a lot of times people don't even know what the hell they mean. Heck they mean, sorry. Oh, and by the way, a lot of people say I talk fast, so I suggest you listen quickly, okay? Scary advice. Shannon knows that shit, so definitely knows. Okay, so let's figure out what a megatrend actually is, okay? So first off, there's fads. You guys have seen fads. The pet rock, okay? Stupidest idea and the most brilliant at the same time. It's a rock with googly eyes on it. That the guy sold literally millions of units. This guy became a millionaire because he was smart enough to say, you know, if I put googly eyes on a rock, I think people would buy it. But it was a fad. And we know what fads are, guys. It says right there, it's a quirky thing in the moment. It ain't gonna last. It's fast, you know, it's an impulse buy, all right? Then we have trends, actual trends. Most trends that we're used to seeing is stuff like fashion. Automobiles, okay? For those of you who were alive during the 70s, do you guys remember the cars that were the trend during the 70s?
Yep.
It was little tiny compact things because of the oil embargo. They didn't want these giant things, but then all of a sudden in the 80s, man, when things started rocking, they made SUVs as big as this room. And it was a different trend. So trends are things that come and go, okay? thankfully, we're part of a mega trend. And a mega trend is a trend that is here to stay because the product in question is a necessity. Okay? It's not being based like a regular trend driven by popularity. You know, what's Brad Pitt wearing today? Well, you know what's funny? Nobody's going to care tomorrow. Okay? It's driven by popularity, which means it's going to fade away. What we have, they are necessities. They will be around for a long, long time. Okay? And you know the difference. Like Danny said with your cell phones. How many people in this room don't have a cell phone? Don't have a cell phone. That's what I thought. Okay? If you don't think that's a mega trend, you don't understand market penetration, okay? Because that means this group represents 100% market penetration with cellular telephones. That's a mega trend. And what's incredible is that we are heading into this, what Danny was talking about with the Bloomberg report. And that's pretty important too, okay? That's mainstream news, guys. That's not us making little videos on Facebook saying how great this is. This is a respected news agency saying, this is here, and it's coming, and it's going to be big. Okay? We already knew that, right? For the people who've been around, I've been in this now 12 years. I'm in my 12th year. We saw it from the beginning because this is what we do. We identify something that's going to be either a major long trend or a mega trend, and then we run with it. Okay? All right, now we're going to take a look at behind the scenes of Enagic because I don't think a lot of people have seen the full scope of what this company is and truly understand it. God, you know, I don't know whose water this is, but I'm drinking it. Danny, if that's yours, thank you. Oops. Sorry, guys. Do a little housekeeping with it here. Get parched. Okay, so you guys all know what a bucket list is, right? Okay, for those of you who don't, basically it's a list of things you want to accomplish before you kick the bucket. That's another way to say that you die, for people who don't know that little ad. I know we have people from all over the world, so people are going, why would I kick my bucket? It's full of water. Okay, so it means what you want to do before you die. Well, because everybody in here is with an Enagic, I'm going to challenge you to make your own Enagic bucket list. Okay? One of the things, especially if you're a 6A or above, one of the things you should strive for, okay, and I mean strive for, is to make it to Japan. How many people here have? How many people have seen the factory? Have seen okay. Every hand in the room will eventually go up. Okay? It will eventually go up. And the reason that you want to see, let me tell you, when I went, we went at the same time, right? We went at the same time. We went in 2016, right? Yeah. Yes, you. Weren't you there?
I was
there. I know you were there. Well, when I went in 2016, wait, no, 2017.
17.
17, yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other convention. 2017, I went to Japan. I was there for 10 days. I got to check out the factory. I got to check out the EPA facility in Okinawa. I got to go to the Tokyo office. I went all over the place because it was funny. I'd already been in the company almost 10 years, but I'd never seen its roots. And I kind of, for lack of a better explanation, I wanted to see if it was real. You know, I wanted to check it out. And I can tell you, wow. I mean, it really is. The impact is much different. Now, I don't know if you guys know it or not, but this is the guest house in Los Angeles.
Yes.
It's on top of this mountain that's got this spectacular view. And it can be used by AP members.
Yes.
And it's gorgeous.
Yes.
So you could arrange a meeting, like a team meeting, because we don't all have mansions like some of the people that they can just invite people and be like, oh yeah, I had 700 of my closest friends over. Some of us can't do that, okay? But it would be really nice to be able to say, hey, team, we're gonna come and we're gonna have this really great barbecue and do this stuff out and have a team meeting and a team training. And if you don't think that's gonna motivate your people, then I don't know what, then you're wrong. That's all I can say, because it will. And it'll motivate you too. Now this is some of the diversification, and in some cases people don't even know that this is here. that Enagic actually has this. A lot of people don't know that Enagic has prize-winning cattle. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Jerry, I don't have any cows, so why is this important to me? Well, because that's a whole industry that is going to be yearning for us to tap it. Which means, if you know anybody who's in the farm industry, whether it be agricultural or whether it be livestock, they are prospects, and there's proven and established results. That's one of the biggest things. Let me tell you what I'm good at, and I know Daniel's good at too. We're good at looking at something and seeing the pieces that tie everything together. You need to get good at that too. You need to be able to see pictures of a cow and realize how you can turn that into a business endeavor and move forward with that, get the right information so you can then present that. Okay? Now, do you guys know we have a prawn farm? Prawns, yeah, you know, like shrimp, big ones. And guess how they're raised? With Kangen water. Okay, same thing with the cows. You want to know why they won so many prizes? Because they're only being given Kangen water. I mean, and then Marilee walked in the room. Sorry, that's kind of an inside joke there. But you know what's really cool? Have you guys seen the YouTube videos of people getting their, or the Facebook videos of people getting their prawns?
Yeah.
I don't think they're available here yet in the United States. When they ship them in this box with like sawdust in it. Mm-hmm. And when you move the sawdust, they're alive.
Yeah.
They're like jumping around and stuff. I'm going, holy, that's fresh. That's freaking fresh. They're still moving. You can't get fresher than that. Okay. This one's really, you guys are going to go, what? Because the top picture is of the Oriental Hotel in Okinawa that now is owned by Enagic. One of the reasons is to make sure that because again, Mr. Oshiro is a student of business. What that means is he studies business. He looks at what business does, and he looks at where business goes. And he makes moves to basically accommodate for that. So he bought this hotel, and it's going to basically be an overflow as he knows that more and more of us distributors are going to be traveling to his native land. He wanted to make sure that we had places to stay.
Awesome.
Come on, how can you beat that? Down below, this one touched my heart something fierce. So a lot of the things that have happened with Mr. Oshiro, especially in Okinawa, he has a very strong dedication to his homeland, okay? He's had businesses who have approached him and said, Oshiro-san, we're not doing so good. And he has, in several cases, stepped in, bought the entire facility, taken it over with their own staff, improved it, turned everything around, and that includes 2 elder care facilities that service, I think it's roughly 400 people, residents. Okay? Now one of the things in district, and again, why am I saying this? Why should this matter to you if you're not an old person in a wheelchair in a home? Does anybody know of any elder care facilities here in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the biggest things, obviously they started having the people drinking water, and the people started like more active, more energy. They started washing their hands with the 2.5, and it cut down a lot of the sickness that was happening. But one of the biggest ones, has anybody ever been to an old folks home? You know that smell?
Yeah.
Most people associate that smell with impending death. And that's not what it is. It's actually a chemical reaction called non-anol. And it basically, your skin, you go through a process to where your skin starts to actually emit, it's an oily substance. That's why you can't wash it off. Okay? And that's that smell. So it's not that a person is dirty or that their hygiene is lacking. They can't get it off of themselves. Well, one of the things that they found is once the people started drinking the water, got properly hydrated, it almost disappeared for the entire facility. Now, that's big for 2 reasons. One, the residents themselves. Can you imagine, if you've gone to one and visited, would you imagine living in that thing 24 hours a day? How about your family and loved ones? Do you think they dread going to visit somebody just because of the fact that they think they smell impending death? They don't want to be exposed to that. Well, if we can eliminate that from the residents and their families, you think that would be important to them? Huge. Sorry. The Enagic youth programs. You guys all know that Enagic has the golf academy, right? Did you know that they've actually had a couple of those kids become PGA members and are competing at the PGA? It's amazing. That's the dedication. These kids don't pay for anything. Okay? One of the things everybody needs to understand is that we're all part of this thing. Okay? We're all part of it. And it's every time we make a sale, we're making a contribution. Okay? To something bigger than ourselves. I don't know about you, but I want to be involved with something bigger than myself. I know it's difficult to believe there's something bigger than me, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So that's the golf academy. Whoops. Did you guys know that we have a ping pong academy too? Mr. Oshiro really believes in athletics and sports as a way for a person to be able to take natural talents and turn them into a career. So he likes to create as many opportunities for that to happen as possible, including the minor league baseball team. I know, it's like, because you look at this and you go, what? What? Minor league baseball team? Yep. And I don't know if you know it or not, the Japanese take their baseball very seriously. Okay? Very seriously. So why are these things important? And again, because this is more than a business opportunity, you guys. If you looked at those pictures and cannot digest that fact, then you're not paying attention, okay? And again, each of us play this vital role that your sale makes a contribution. And you guys know the old, when you change a life or impact somebody's life positively, it creates a ripple because they take that and it makes their life better. And so they end up touching other people's lives. And it creates this ripple that just goes across the entire world. And guess what's cool about a ripple? It comes back. So all that stuff that you're doing right now, and it might not come back today or tomorrow or even next week or next year, but if you give it enough time, it does come back to you. I like the last three. We're building communities, we're building possibilities, and literally, guys, we're building futures. And that's an important thing. All of those are very important. And I want to talk a little bit about the Enagic tomorrow, and then I'm almost done. So, when a company comes on to the scene, they go through these stages, almost like stages of development when it comes to the market, okay? Pretty much what happens is, it starts with an idea. So, 45 years ago, Mr. Oshiro had this idea, had this vision. So he ran with it. And the thing is it takes time. It takes time for these things to manifest. Okay? So it took 45 years to get where we are today. Can you even imagine where we'll be 45 years from now? Maybe we will type W-A-T-E-R, squirt. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. Pull it right out of the air. After enough time, and it's kind of proven itself, you can see this has good potential. This really does have good potential. Well, then it becomes something that's great. And people start being drawn to it. Because it's something great. Then it becomes something awesome. Okay? And just so you guys know, as far as the project is concerned, right now we're in between the great and awesome stage. That's where we are. But after awesome comes iconic. Okay? But beyond iconic, I gave myself some notes here because I want to make sure I cover this correctly. Beyond iconic, you get to a point where the companies that people know by name, they have very similar ingredients, okay? The things that make them created, basically go to the status that they've arrived at, okay? Things like a visionary founder, Enagic, check. Phenomenal product, Enagic, check. First or the most notable in their industry, Enagic, check. They have a story, they have a compelling story that draws people in. A story that basically sells, that people want to be a part of. They have incredible timing. Just like I said about the people that show up today. Look, if you're a distributor that signed up today, your timing is better than anybody else's in this program. Period. Okay? decisive business moves, okay? That's really important, making those decisive moves at just the right time to make it happen. And I think everybody would say there's a little Vegas in this, which is a little luck. You know, you gotta get a little lucky. But the reality is that all those things, when you put them together, they've created this status for companies like Amway. These are companies that when I say the name, you might not have ever been with the company, bought anything from them, know where they're located, know anybody who's a part of it. But when I say the name, it's recognizable to you. Amway, Mary Kay, let's see, New Skin, right? Even Ford, Tesla, even Microsoft. All these companies have one thing in common, and that is they become legendary. And I can absolutely assure you, 1,000%, that is exactly where Enagic is headed. And we're all part of it. And if that doesn't excite you, then probably nothing will, okay? So realize, legendary means we're making a legend. And we're all doing it together.